Yeah, I know it's been a while since last shit dropped, but hey, check this out right here. Yo, this shit was fire, so I'm gonna teach y'all how to get that tone so you'll be middle and will be able get even more bitches and swag than you got from last guide though, but remember about contraception and shits and don't get AIDS cause you'll die though. We'll start from rhythm guitars. As you can see, there is two of them panned left and right, settings of each is exactly the same. First of all, 808 Screamer. This thing will focus the tone, make it little more dry and prepare it for amplification stage. We're gonna use bias for reamping. 6505 rhythm preset, here's the settings. Cab section is bypassed, so without it we already got the tone of early version and that's kind of evil and mad though, and Bar is kind of happy a bit but it's not what I want, so we're gonna use Kiefer Impulse Loader to use our own shit. This one right here is my custom made Impulsive Close Mic'd 4x12 cab. This EQ right here is for filtering automation for this part. As I said earlier, processing of left and right guitars is the same, so after individual channel processing they go to guitars bus. First thing here is T-Rax 1A EQ, which makes guitars bit more fatter and brighter. EQ which cut out unwanted low end, some mud around 320 Hz and 2 whistle zones at highs. Center stereo here to enhance guitars a bit and free center of stereo field where most part of swag and power lies, and drummer drumming his drums and also bassist trying to learn how to play his bass and trying to records the shit with volume turned down and unplugged guitar, and that's fucked up, but anyways, let's check it out. Next thing, sidechain compression from kick drum, which means that guitar level will be dropped for short period. When kick hits, it makes kick drum more cleaner and also give nice breath to mix, which I really like here. Valhalla Room Reverb adds natural depth to the sound, because impulse response contains only timbre of recording path and doesn't have actual ambience response, which real CAD recordings have, so this way we fix the problem. Next stop is EQ. First of all, yes, I know it's hard as fuck. Second of all, it defeats static noises and unwanted whistles, rings and other stuff, so I'd called it filtering instead of echoing, because it's not about changing timbre, it's about getting rid of all of them unwanted shits. Check out before and after versions. Notice how tighter and cleaner our tone become. Next, EQ adds a bit of brightness and does pretty much the same thing that previous one. All of these EQ presets can be found in additional files packed to this guide, so we will not dig into each one of them filters. Last step is NLS, which emulates console saturation and adds some kind of stereo enhancement, making our tone less digital and more swag, of course. See? I told you. And we also have sent a large room reverb here. After all of this, guitars goes to some bus with bass, which will glue guitars and bass together. We'll return to it when bass processing will be explained. Front guitar is melodic background guitars in this track, and that's how it sounds. Processing model is pretty much the same, 808 Screamer with default settings. Bias 6505 solo preset, which is almost the same that 6505 rhythm, but more distorted. This time we use another cabinet from same pack, it's Closemice 2x12 cabinet, which provides bright and clear tone. After that, front guitars goes to front G bus for stereo processing, cause in Cubase you can't apply stereo shits on mono bus, it will be mono as fuck. First plugin here is an EQ, which cut out some resonance shits. Then signal goes to H-Delay, which works in Jackie Chan mode and provides solid stereo enhancement and adds deepness to the sound. Next stop, Valhalla Vintage Reverb. "25% amount of effect, 4-second decay and 70s kind of shit really helps to put this guitars in back of the mix. And the last thing here is NLS. After all that, front G bus goes to submix bus. Solo guitars. Sounds mad though. TSC and bias tone on this channel is exactly the same as on front G channel. The only difference here is cab impulse. This time it's 4x12 cab, same cab which used on rhythm guitars, but mic'd in cone edge position, which provides darker tone. Add Oct Solo FX's copy of solo guitar channel, which has only this short part. It's copied and pitched one octave higher. Slide from here, just to make stronger and bigger fade into solo. After individual channel processing they go to solo guitar bus. First thing here is a pair of H delays. First one works in Jackie Chan mode. Delay time is 1/8. Second one works in standard mode and delay time here is 3/16. Next plugin, Valhalla Vintage Reverb. What's interesting about it is that it has automated mix and mount. Check this out. The idea was to create some kind of fade in movement of guitars from back of the mix to front straight in face. Sounds sick. IMO. Pro Q to clear up our tone a bit. Stereo enhancer to widen up Jackie Chan and reverb side of stereo. And non-linear summer at the end. After all of this, solo guitar bus goes to submix bus. Ambient guitar channel. Check this out real quick. It makes nice background soundscape in this track. Just as on previous one, TSC and bias has exactly same settings, but different impulse. This time it's 1x12 cab mic'd up with perception mic in far position. After individual channel processing, signal goes to ambient guitar bus and that's what happens here. EQ with high cut filter from 12.5 kHz. Next plugin, H delay 3/16 delay time and pretty big amount of mix. Center stereo to enhance the tone a bit and clean up some center shits. And last plugin here, non-linear summer. After all processing, this bus goes to submix bus. Add ambient guitar channel. This time TSC and bias processing is similar to rhythm guitars, but with different impulse. This time we use same 2x12 cab which we used on solo guitars, but mic'd up in far position. After individual processing, this channel goes to add ambient guitar bus for additional stereo processing and some stereo swag. First thing here is an EQ. Here we clean up some high-end fizz and high-end resonances. Next plugin is H-Delay in Jackie Chan mode and 3/16 delay time. Last plugin here is Non-Linear Summer. After all of this, add ambient guitar bus goes to submix bus. We are gonna use Trillion for bass sampling. Now let's check out Trillion settings. Hardcore finger pause on that full range samples here, all the FX and amp section is bypassed. That's how it sounds without any processing. This channel also has TSE 808 Screamer on it. As you can see, it saturates the sound and make it more focused. I'm gonna freeze this motherfucker up to save CPU and RAM power, cause I use another DAW and screen capture software to film this shit at the moment, so my computer is kind of yo man fuck you, I'm gonna fuck or shit up bro right now. Now this bass goes to bass group. Notice that group is mono, cause stereo bus processing takes more CPU power and don't make any difference in sound. First plugin here is bias with DCBS 600%. Here is the settings. Cab section is bypassed, because we're gonna use impulse from the same pack that we used on guitars. This time it's 4x12 bass cabinet, recorded in cab position. Next plugin is Bass Rider. This thing helps to keep dynamics of bass flat by reducing loud sounds and boosting quiet. Note that output level is dropped, so we can't really do on versus off comparison, but just believe me that it does what it does. Next plugin is L2 Limiter, which makes dynamics more stable. Now you can see why we used to reduce output of previous plugin, just to have headroom here. It could be way too high though. By the way, There is just a tiny bit of limiting. Pro Q to cut out low and muddy shits, clean up 1 kHz and 3 kHz zones. Next plugin is Compressor, which was side-chained from Kick. Adds some nice ass breath to the mix and also helps Kick a bit. Last plugin is Non-Linear Summer with my console. Gives some nice ass low bass saturation. You already know y'all, don't you? And finally, after all of this, bass group goes to Bass Guitar Some Bus, which is also out for Guitars Bus, so let's check it out. First plugin here is Multiband Compressor from iZotope Ozone 5. This thing glues together lows and mids of guitars and bass together. You can hear what I mean, don't you? Pro Q, which clean up some center of stereo and also reduce high-end whistle. After all of these, Bass Guitar Some Bus goes to Submix Bus. God damn, that was heavy though. We're gonna use Steven Slate drums for sampling drums here, so let's look inside of it. Here's the names of used samples. We use kick, snare, hi-hat, 2 crashes, China and ride sample positions here, so there is no toms, and that's fucked up, but there was no toms in this song, so this is not fucked up. Now you can see bleed routing, bleed levels, and actual levels of each drum before they go to output. We use multi-out mode to send each group of mix to separate channels for individual processing, so check this out. Kick and Kick 2 routed to mono out 9, which is KD channel. Snare dear yo, check me out real quick, I don't know what the fuck is dear y'all, but anyways it goes to mono out 10, which is SD channel. Snare top and bottom goes to mono out 11, which is SD2 channel. Hi-hat, stereo out 4, which is hi-hat channel. Ride and overheads goes to stereo out 1, which is overheads channel. China goes to stereo out 2, which is Jackie Chan's channel. And finally room goes to stereo out 3, which is channel named room, but it's confidential. Anyways, how is your sex life? Now let's figure out routing out of SSD. KD goes straight to drums bus. SD and SD2 goes to SD Some Bus, which routed to drums bus. And 4 other channels go straight to drums bus too. Then this bus goes to submix bus, and that's it. So let's go for processing of them shits. We'll start from kick. Pro Q boosts important mid-range shits, because SSD sample is pre-processed already and I've had a feeling that it needs it. We also have small drop at highs and high pass filter to reduce very high clicky sound, which I don't need here. Next, Pro Q cut out some unwanted shits too. Our bass exciter give us solid low and focus on 50 Hz zone. CLA76 compressor give us some control on dynamics, adds some attack and sustain. Last EQ reduced low-end boomy resonance and high-end clicky sounds. And finally, non-linear summer in mic mode and drive is big as fuck, but it's compensated on output. Speaking of sends, here you can see sidechain sends to guitars and bass, which we talked about earlier, and we also have send to large room reverb. SD channel. First EQ cuts out high-end whistle. Second one mainly shapes whole snare timbre. Boost on lows, drop on mids, and pretty complex upward shape at high mids here. Non-linear summer at the end. We also have send to large room reverb channel here. SD2 channel. Pro Q and wait my boy chill, what the fuck, where is NLS? Goddamn, I fucked up, but anyways, there is simple Pro Q that reduces some mid and high resonances. Send to large reverb room channel. And now they go to SD some bus, so let's go for it. First thing here is an EQ, which cut out resonance at highs and also reduce highs with high shelf filter. Envelope shaper reduce release, cause there was a lot. Here is send to snare hall reverb and drums hall reverb. After all that, this bus goes to drums bus, but let's move our asses to overheads though. First thing, EQ. Low cut to get rid of very end low end and box mids. second EQ boosts tight part of lows and cut out the rest with low pass filter, so it's kind of focus shits right here. We also reduce some noise at mids and high-end whistle. SSL compressor here to make dynamics more stable. Fuck, I'm fucked up with it. There is no any compression, but it upper the level and we get some analog shits. T-Rax Prog EQ here, you can see that it works on highs, but amounts of boost and attenuation are equal, and man I don't really know how, maybe it's there is some Dumbledore kind of shits or something like that. But this thing adds correlation between left and right channels and also give us some kind of focus. Next stop, Pro Q, which reduce all kind of different shits at highs and mids and also boost it a bit. You probably think like, hey man, you fucking up, this shit sounds weak after this shit, so fuck you, I'm out of this bitch. I've got you and I hear it too, but keep in mind that what we do here is, kind of mixing shits, so it's all about to mix, not about individual timbre of each element, and that's exactly what this EQ does, is reduce frequencies that conflicts with other parts of mix. I know that it complex as fuck, so again, you will find all of them presets in additional files to this guide. And the last, NLS in spike mode. We also have send to drums hall reverb. China. Pro Q reduce unwanted whistle zones here on highs and mids. At the very end we have NLS. Hi-hat processing is pretty much the same. Pro Q cuts some fizzy highs resonances. NLS at the end. Room. CLA 76 compressor here, works in all mode, which emulates what happens to the original 76 compressor, where all of ratio knobs is pushed, sound becomes more aggressive. This kind of compression uncovers character of room and reduce feeling of sampled drums a bit. It also gives us nice attack on some parts that needs attack. It gives needed sustain on snare blast beat parts. So this is mad. Check this out. And after it we have EQ, which reduce low-end mud produced by fast kick drum parts and also reduce some of high-end whistles. NLS at the very end. Now drums bus processing. As you can see, there is only SSL compressor here. Gives nice breath to drums. Here we have sent to parallel compression FX channel. Stay tuned, we're gonna check them shits right now you all. There is 4 FX track here. First of them is large room reverb. Valhalla room reverb large room mode. Here is the settings. Next plugin, center. Center reduced all the way down, so there is only side part of sound here. This way we avoid of conflicts with central instruments of mix, such as bass, snare, kick, swag. Pro Q cleanup unwanted high end. Last plugin and chain, NLS. Parallel compression track. Compression strong as fuck, almost 10 dB of it, which is a lot. This way we get fuller sound on most parts of the song and also get strong and tight attack at some accented parts. Pro Q reduce some high-end whistly zones. And we also have NLS at the very end. Snare hall reverb. This channel affected only by snare. First plugin here, Valhalla vintage reverb. Concert hall mode and pretty big decay time makes pretty big and huge soundscape to snare. Pro Q cuts out some mid-range muddy frequencies. Next plugin, center, which reduce center of stereo to avoid this reverb conflict with snare. Check this out real quick. Conflict doesn't meet that reverb talking shit or trying to beat the shit out of snare. It's all about frequency conflicts, which means stacking specific frequency and make it obvious in whole mix. Last plugin and chain, NLS. Drums Hall Reverb Channel. First plugin, Valhalla Vintage Reverb. Concert Hall Mode, 70th color mode and pretty big amount of attack and decay here. Pro Q cut out some mud at lows and cut out some of unwanted highs. SSL compressor to make reverb bit fatter. What the fuck is wrong with them? I'm fucking up again, my people. That's fucked up, you all. By the way, we get some saturation and we also get gain of volume. Just as on first reverb, here we have exactly same settings on center plugin, center of stereo reduced all the way down. Last plugin and chain, NLS. What's important about it that this channel rooted to drums group, while other 3FX rooted to submix. And before I'll go to final stage, just let me show you all the levels and panning settings one more time. Main part of mastering was applied on special pre-out group, which actually submix buses, so let's check it out. First thing here is NLS bus, which give us analog saturation of mixing console and glue the tone a bit. It's also controller for all NLS plugins here, so I can show you what happens to mix when all of them plugins is bypassed. Let's see. Next plugin is a Top Ozone 5 Imager, which will reduce stereo width of mix for more accurate work of multi-bin compressor. Next plugin is a Top Ozone 5 Dynamics in multi-bin mode. Here you can see the settings of each band. What it does is slight timbre balancing and dynamic control. First band controls low end pressure. Second band focused mostly on snare dynamics. Third and fourth bands controls high-end attacks of snare and kick. Next plugin, Imager. This time we compensate stereo loss from second insert and give it just a bit of extra width on lows and highs. Next plugin is a Top Ozone 5 Equalizer. We're gonna use its matching option, but before we'll go for it, note that there is some EQ on 3 and 4 filters. I bet you all know what matching is, but for those of you who don't know, matching can be produced as automatic EQ correction. These two curves here is snapshots of amplitude frequency characteristics. Yellow one, marked as mix, is actual snapshot of our mix's timbre, and the red one, marked as ref, which means reference, is a snapshot of our reference timbre. Plugin use them to figure out what frequencies to boost and what to reduce, and you use amount and smooth parameters to find optimal spot, where you has better timbre and your mix is still safe. Check out before and after versions. Okay. Next plugin is Kramer Tape, which is tape saturator. This thing adds some depth and tape character to mix and make it bit more warmer. Next plugin is Amazier. I know what y'all thinking, like, yo man, what kind of shit is that? 3 Amaziers successively? Fuck that shit, I'm out. I got you, check this out. First of all, we use just a bit of processing on first 2 and it's used for optimal setup of next plugins, not for stereo processing, so first 2 don't affect the sound or do it just a tiny bit. Second of all, this particular third Amazier actual is stereo processing of master bus. So let's check settings of it. After all this stuff, this group goes to stereo out, cause I need some more and don't have enough slots here, so we'll do it on stereo out. First thing here is EQ, which deletes some whistly zones caused by EQ matching. Second, EQ works in mid-side mode. It deletes all stereo information lower than 80 Hz and also will boost some mids of stereo, which mostly guitar lies. Next plugin is iZotope Ozone 5 Exciter. Kramer Tape did mostly gluing job, while this one will give us more aggressive type of saturation. Here's the settings. Important to note that when amount of saturation is 0, there is no any effect at all. But when you change it to 0, one effect coming in, and amount of this effect can be driven by amount controller or by boosting incoming signal. That's why amount of each band is so low, because we already has pretty compressed and loud signal and amount of saturation is pretty big already. And the last plugin here is Pro Limiter. Here's the settings. That's it. For those of you who want to get additional files pack, which includes Cubase project, iZotope Ozone 5 matching session, MIDI and DI files, custom impulse pack and full pack of Pro Q presets, you can find them in private post on Patreon, which will be available after pledging $1. This way you support me and my project and help me keep doing what I do. Link is in the description. Hope you all enjoyed this guide. See you all next time.